It's like fun for your ears. I really enjoy revisiting manufacturers. Every review is another chapter in a story that grows as we get new fun gadgets. Earfun was one of those crazy surprises when I took the original Free Pro for a spin, and I thought they were an incredible bang for buck option in the true wireless space. Now Earfun is back with a follow-up, but they're walking into a more competitive space. Earbuds, especially around this price tier, are brutal right now. Earfun sent me some Free Pro 2 to take for a test drive, and I have some thoughts. Starting off, the one thing I'm always happy to see is a tech-forward approach to making a tech accessory. We're all getting a bit savvier about some of these abbreviations, and a lot of consumers are building a more complete idea of price and features. Getting into the fast breakdown, we've got active noise cancellation with 3 microphones per ear for phone calls, 6 hours of playtime per charge with up to 24 hours of runtime using the case. The case has wireless charging built in, touch controls with on-ear volume control. They're rated for sweat resistance, and we've got Bluetooth 5.2 with a dedicated low latency game mode. And of course, single earbud listening if you want to just take one ear at a time. Better still, Earfun includes a great collection of ear tips and ear loops in the box. It's one of the most complete options you can buy, and it still undercuts numerous name brand options for features. I have to highlight a tech bit right up front. I really like the touch controls. It's easy to tweak volume on the go. You know, if 2 tracks have different volume, you shouldn't have to reach for your phone to turn your audio down. But on top of the volume controls, the layout is pretty solid for all the other controls too. Play, pause, noise cancellation, and ambient sound modes, voice assistant activation, and the game mode. There's certainly a complicated flowchart to memorize, but everything is here. And I never feel I have to give up and reach for a phone, a companion app, just to toggle something. And one second tech bit, this charge case is adorably small. It looks like a brick or like a lump in photos, but compared to other cases, it's teeny. It really is handy to keep this in a pocket. And in finishing up the tech side, Bluetooth has gotten a lot better for lag, but it's still nice to have a dedicated gaming mode, especially for those games where audio cues are necessary for gameplay. I feel like I can stay right on top of the beat in Thumper, which is my latency torture test for true wireless. So this technology does it for me. It's not good for the price, it's just objectively good as a companion gadget, and the price is a nice perk. But these are earbuds, so how do they sound? Okay, there's a smaller driver in this casing. It's not as cut and dry as camera sensors, you know, bigger driver mean more sound, but kinda. So I pop these in my ears, and the bass is kicking so hard, I'm worried the tuning is starting to veer a little sloppy for the lows, like listening to some Daft Punk, Run the Jewels. The lows are featured so aggressively, I'm almost losing the attacks on things like kick drums. What should be a specific punch, like a poof, poof, almost becomes a fwa, fwa, fwa. On first listen, it's a bit like the Pepsi challenge, right? You know, sweeter is better for a sip or two, but maybe you don't want to finish that whole soda. I talk a lot, pretty consistently in my reviews, about how easily fatigued I am by shrill highs. This is the first time in a long while that I'd maybe be worried about rumble fatigue. Now, I'm only harping on this as much as I am because there is no built-in EQ or profile for tuning. It's the main omission I'd love to see added to these Earfun. I like the sound on these a lot more when I ran them through a custom EQ from one of my music apps. I just rolled off a little at the bottom end, and that woke these right up for me. Had a little bit more space for instruments in the mids, and I kept the highs that little bit more recessed, so just I got a nice little bump to clarity. The hardware is good. I think it would be even better if it came with a couple of presets that we could easily toggle. Complementing the audio quality, the ANC is natural, but not the strongest I've used. Even the Earfun Air Pro 2 could dampen a bit more environment around me. It's at a tier that certainly helps you turn the volume down on your music, and honestly, these might be a better fit for people who are sensitive to pressure in their ears from ANC. It's a practical noise reduction, even if it isn't the most powerful cancellation.
And of course, a quick microphone test, not a call quality test because it's not over a network, but just trying to see what kind of audio quality we can get off these mics. It's a fairly breezy day, so I'm getting some wind over my ears. That might impact what you're listening to right now, but just sending the signal directly to my phone over the Bluetooth and recording this video, get a sense of what this is going to sound like, at least from this kind of a local perspective.
And on that note, we should probably start wrapping this up. Where does that leave us with the Earfun Free Pro 2? These are great earbuds at a solid price, full stop. When I started using these, they were on pre-order at a respectable MSRP. They're now available publicly on a lot of retailer sites like Amazon. But here's the big reveal. The Earfun are launching on not just one sale under the MSRP, but 2 sales under the MSRP. And at $56, these things are an absolutely stunning bargain. I think that's a pretty solid price for some tech-forward earbuds. So the highlights here work for me. Great options for fit, very good battery life, nice small footprint for the case. I think these are going to be great all-rounder communicator buds. And I think it only takes a touch of tuning in a music player app to turn these into great sounding buds. With so many options that can be a bit overwhelming, but having more good choices in this market is always going to be a great problem to have. They get most things right. And while I think it's always worth shopping around the true wireless market, sometimes you just gotta get excited about a great deal. I think Earfun is rising to the occasion. I think a lot of folks are gonna dig having these in their pocket. I will, of course, leave some links down below where you can find more information on the Earfun Free Pro 2. Maybe shop these bad boys online. As always, thanks so much for watching, for sharing, for subscribing to the channel. I greatly appreciate everyone checking out the links underneath these videos, maybe also shopping a little merch. That kind of stuff really does help keep production rolling on this channel. Full list of all my affiliates and partnerships on SomeGadgetGuy.com, or you might consider, just maybe, joining the list of names scrolling by on your screen from my Patreon, patreon.com/SomeGadgetGuy. This list is basically a collection of the coolest tech pals on the planet. So I hope you check them out. Now, you know where you can find me around the rest of the internet at SomeGadgetGuy on the Twitters and the Twitch, and the Facebooks and the Instagrams, and I will catch you all on the next review.